On a cool Saturday morning, the quiet town of Maple Ridge gathered in a grassy clearing near the edge of a dense woodland park. Volunteers arrived carrying flashlights, bottled water, and stacks of missing person flyers. At the center of the gathering, a photograph had been taped to a folding table. It showed a smiling young woman with bright eyes and wind-blown hair. Beneath it were the words, "Missing Emma Lawson, 26. No one had seen her in nearly 48 hours. The search had been organized by her family and friends, and dozens of volunteers had come to comb through wooded trails, fields, and riverbanks. Among them was a man who appeared especially determined. He moved between groups handing out flyers, suggesting places to search, and comforting Emma's devastated mother. To everyone present, he seemed like exactly the kind of person you would want helping during a crisis. Concerned, focused, and eager to help. But investigators would later discover something deeply unsettling. The man helping search may have already known exactly where Emma Lawson was. Before her disappearance, Emma lived a quiet life admired by many in Maple Ridge. At 26, she worked as a veterinary assistant at a small animal clinic outside town. Friends described her as patient, gentle, and deeply devoted to the animals she cared for. Outside work, Emma loved walking the wooded trails surrounding Maple Ridge. She often shared photos of sunsets over the river and wildlife she encountered along the path. Those walks were her way of unwinding after long days at the clinic. But on a Tuesday evening in March, Emma left for one of those walks and never returned. Her roommate grew concerned when Emma's phone went straight to voicemail. The next morning, Emma's car was discovered parked at the trailhead she visited almost every day. The doors were locked, her purse remained inside, but Emma was gone. Her family reported her missing within hours, and the town quickly mobilized. Flyers appeared on street corners, and volunteers signed up to help search the surrounding woods. One of those volunteers was Daniel Harper. Daniel was not a stranger to Emma. He had visited the veterinary clinic with his dog several times, and over the month the two had begun talking more often. They exchanged messages and occasionally met for coffee. But friends later said Emma had recently started distancing herself from him. She had mentioned feeling uncomfortable with how persistent he had become. Still, when Emma disappeared, Daniel presented himself as deeply concerned and quickly joined the search effort. Police initially treated the case as a missing person investigation. Search teams spread across miles of forest trails, while drones scanned nearby riverbanks. 9 units attempted to track Emma's scent from her parked vehicle, but repeatedly lost the trail near a gravel access road. That detail caught investigators' attention because it suggested Emma may have entered a vehicle. Meanwhile, Daniel remained highly visible among the volunteers. He helped organize search routes and encourage people to keep looking. But detectives began reconstructing Emma's final movements. Security cameras showed her car arriving at the trailhead shortly after 6 p.m. Another camera captured a dark pickup truck entering the same area about 20 minutes later. The truck lingered near the gravel road where the scent trail ended before driving away. Investigators traced the license plate. The truck belonged to Daniel Harper. When questioned, Daniel admitted he had driven through the area that evening. He claimed he stopped briefly because he knew Emma liked walking the trails and wanted to see if she was there. According to his statement, he called her name but never saw her and then left. At first, the explanation seemed reasonable, but phone records revealed Daniel had messaged Emma minutes before arriving at the park asking if she was at the trails. Emma never replied. Her phone stopped transmitting location data shortly afterward, near the same gravel road where Daniel's truck had been seen. Investigators also learned that during the volunteer search, Daniel repeatedly suggested checking a remote logging trail deep in the forest. Few people even knew the trail existed. 5 days into the investigation, forensic technicians examined Daniel's truck more closely. Inside the bed liner, they found traces of soil and plant material. Laboratory testing revealed the soil matched a rare clay composition found only in one area of the Maple Ridge forest, the abandoned logging trail Daniel had suggested searching. Investigators organized a targeted search of that location. Roughly half a mile down the overgrown road, volunteers discovered disturbed soil beneath fallen trees. There, buried beneath the earth, they found Emma Lawson. The discovery stunned the community. Further analysis linked fibers from Daniel's truck to Emma's clothing, and digital evidence showed he had searched online for remote burial locations days before she disappeared. Phone location data also placed his device near the logging trail later that night. Daniel Harper was arrested 2 weeks after Emma's body was found. Prosecutors argued that after confronting Emma and causing her death, he attempted to hide his involvement by joining the search effort, by inserting himself into the investigation. He could watch its progress and even influence where volunteers looked. But the strategy had the opposite effect. His constant presence kept him close enough for detectives to begin asking difficult questions. At trial, jurors heard testimony from volunteers who described Daniel's behavior during the search and saw the evidence linking him to the burial site. After deliberating for 3 days, the jury found him guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison. For Emma Lawson's family, the verdict brought some measure of justice, though the loss remained immeasurable. The town of Maple Ridge still remembers the day hundreds of people gathered to search for her, unaware that the man standing among them, handing out flyers and urging everyone forward, already knew exactly where she was. Cases like this remind investigators of a chilling reality. Sometimes the person hiding the darkest secret is standing right beside everyone else, helping search and hoping the truth is never found.